and we welcome you into Believe Me right here on Stadium. My name is Cam Rogers, and listen, I've got no idea what I'm betting on this weekend, but I've got two legends, Brandon Lang, BrandonLang.com, and Clay Harbor, former NFL tight end sports analyst. Gentlemen, the Final Four is in the books. How are we doing?
Clay, you want to go first and brag about your Florida Atlantic big time win over San Diego State? Go ahead. I'll give you the
floor. Go for it,
Clay. All right, B Lang. I know. I know. Obviously, I had the win there on the game, but you got me back with the UConn game. I shouldn't have picked Miami over UConn. I know B Lang's gonna help. Let me hear it, but I did take B Lang's advice and take UConn in the national championship game plus the 7. I didn't bet everything I own like he told us to, but I mean, what a run by UConn. I mean, this team was incredible. I mean, Sanogo's a beast, 17 points, 6'9" guy from Mali. I mean, I think they might repeat. 3 players from the ESPN Top 100 coming to UConn next year, and they won all 6 games by an average 20. I mean, that's impressive in the tournament. I mean, that's something you never see. The 5th team since 1985 to win all games by double digits. UConn, your team, your darling. All right, B Lang, here's your time, man.
No, I read in one of the forums that you sent Leday and Bradley and Parrish for San Diego State postcards saying thank you for missing 6 of the last 8 free throws. Parrish is a 77% free throw shooter. He missed 2. Leday's a 76% free throw shooter. He goes 1 of 4. Bradley's a 79% free throw shooter. He goes 1 of 2. They missed 6 of their last 8, win by 1.
They shouldn't even have won the game. They
were 13 of 22 from the line for the game.
They shouldn't even won the game.
In a close game, you're not going to cover a 1.5, 2. I should have just money lined up for 145, but when we got to the championship game and I started to really handicap it, I know that Clay and I did, not Clay and I, but we did a quick hit for the championship game on Monday. The last time you had a point spread that big in a championship game, it was 2018 Villanova minus 6.5 against Michigan. Here we were 5 years later with UConn out of the Big East laying 7.5 against San Diego State. The similarities between those two teams is chilling when you broke it down. Villanova that year had won 33 of 35 games by double digits. In the tournament, they won every game by double digits, and they covered every game in the tournament. Final Four knocked off number 1 seed Kansas by 16 and then destroyed Michigan by 17. Now here comes UConn. Won every game by double digits in the tournament, covered every game in the tournament. In their non-conference schedule, they won all 14 non-conference games by double digits. And furthermore, every win they had this year, of their 30 wins going into the championship game this year, 29 were by 9 or more. Only 1 game they didn't win by more than the point spread Monday night at Georgetown, where they won by 6, which is the head scratcher of all head scratchers. So you ask yourself this question: were they going to beat San Diego State? Yes, there was no way they were going to lose that game. So based on that platform, you could have bet everything you owned on UConn Monday night. A children's unborn children's children and their children when their cars are flying in the air and it's George Jetson and Elroy and daughter Judy. And when that time gets there, we will never get a game like that Monday night. You don't struggle with the Florida Atlantics of the world and beat UConn. You just don't. Look at the similarity. In the final for Villanova, they faced Michigan, who played Loyola of Chicago in the semis. Here's San Diego State, who played who? Florida Atlantic out of Conference USA. So it felt so good that I got fisted by San Diego State against Florida Atlantic. Come back and watch them get hammered and slaughtered for not doing what they should have done, which is cover that godforsaken number against Florida.
They shouldn't even have won.
They were
So,
lucky to win that game. But Brandon,
listen,
from the industry perspective, if I may, why wasn't there any Vegas correction with this line? -7 seemed too generous in favor of UConn, especially being perfect ATS in the tournament.
well, what's funny is late in the day, the Sharps jumped on San Diego State and moved the line from 7.5 down to 7. Nice going, guys. I don't know what you saw. I don't know what you're feeling. Nice going there to move that line down to 7. Well done. Way to go against a mortal lock winner. And bottom line, I love Danny Hurley. If Hawkins comes back and Sonogo comes back, which we don't know yet. Hawkins, they say, is going to be a top 10 pick. Sonogo, they're saying, is going to go in the top 10. But if those two come back with the point guard that they got coming in, oh, my God. This could be a UNLV, Larry Johnson, Stacey Ackman, Greg Anthony, David Butler, Anderson Hunt. They all came back, went undefeated, and then lost to Duke in the championship game because Greg Anthony decided to go in the lane and take a charge and foul out. They had no point guard in the last 3.5 minutes. Hurley hits the three, cuts it from 5-2. Don't get me started because I was at the game and I lost a lot of cheddar. So anyway, there we go.
Clay, looking ahead to next year, to Brandon's point, do you see some value maybe in UConn getting it done again at whatever number it is? I'm not sure if the odds are out yet, but...
Absolutely. You got 3 of the ESPN top 100 in this recruiting class. I mean, this team is big. This team knows how to play. I mean, you look how they finished this year. I mean, the 6 games in the tournament by an average of 20. I mean, even 20. I mean, that's incredible. I think there's some value there. I think they have to be the favorite coming into next season. And I know they're going to be losing a couple guys, but I think UConn has to be the favorite after how they finished off this year with that exclamation point. And I just want to know how with 5 minutes left when the game was cut to 5, how bad Brandon Lang was sweating there watching the game on TV. It's cut to 5. He's got his children's children, on this game. This guy has to be sweating, but I know they pulled it off. But yeah.
Well, two rules of thought. I was absolutely livid and pissed that they were up 16 in the first half with 3:23 to go and didn't score again. That drove me absolutely bonkers. And they should have been up 20-24 at the half.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you know what? That's not good. And then they cut it to 13. And then first possession of the second half, Hawkins goes right down the lane, throws a dunk and misses it. And I said right there, you know what? This is going to be a sweat job. At some point in the second half, this is
Vegas
going to be
calling.
a sweat job. I said it. I've been doing this long enough to know that if you don't put teams away and let them, to use the favorite line from Rounders, hanging around. I should have got paid on that hand. It just was going to happen. Hawkins hits the 3 to get it back to 8. If he misses that shot, Houston, we have a problem. But with that being said, when you win every game by double digits, sometimes it's like the first line of my analysis at brandonlang.com. I said, don't get nervous. The effing point spread is not going to matter. It doesn't matter what happens in the game. All that matters is the final score. 6 straight wins by double digits. They won by 17. You never even saw it get cut to 5 when you look at the final score. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, but in the champagne room with my girl Jasmine and my girl Desiree.
Lang.
Take it away,
Perfect 18-0, guys. ATS versus non-conference opponents here this season for UConn. Really dominant stuff. So more March Madness in the years to come. Excited for more brackets. But let's pivot now, guys, to the biggest golf event of the year. It is the Masters, that tradition unlike any other. Tiger Woods is on the grounds here at Augusta National, entering this tournament 75-1 to win this event. We saw him earlier this year at the Genesis Invitational, T45 there. But the reality is you have to go back to 2020 for the last time he actually had a top 10 on the PGA Tour. Brandon, let's start with you because you know Tiger very well. You have some stories about learning Tiger's game and what have you. When you look at his prospects of winning a major this year, how high are they? Where do you gauge them?
Not happening. Not happening. Use a line from Pulp Fiction, wake up the Gimp. Well, the Gimp's asleep. Well, wake him up. Well, you're not going to wake up Tiger Woods. At the course like the Masters with walking, you can see it. You can see it in his first round, struggling, hitting trees off the tee, 3 woods on par 5s off the trees, 3 putting from 20 feet up the hill. Do I think he can contend? Yes, I do. I think he can contend. But actually winning with his leg being the way it is, listen, when you're drinking liquor and taking Ambien and hopping in an SUV and driving down from Palos Verdes, probably not the smartest thing to do there, T. Probably not the smart thing to do, but that's Tiger Woods. I mean, go back to when he crashed his Mercedes. They found 5 substances in his blood: Vicodin, Ambien, Viagra, weed. Go deep, Tiger. Go deep, baby.
Went for it. He went for it.
But I'm amazed of Tiger Woods. And stay with me here. The one thing I'm more amazed of than anything, as vain as he is about his body, as vain as he is about his looks, I cannot believe in all that time away that nobody saw him. He didn't get his hair done. He's going balding bad.
The march is happening.
Bad, bro. Tiger, bro. Hair club for men. Get the club. Get the plugs, baby. Get the plugs. Tiger. He's going bald. Michael Jordan's eventually going to say, Tiger, shave the head, diamond stud earring. You're good to go, babe. You're good to go.
Clay Harbor, Tiger Woods always gets a lot of public money entering a major championship because the public loves to bet on Tiger. What say you? Is there any value in betting on him this year in a major?
There's no value since that car crash in February 2021. I think that kind of ended the dream for Tiger. I think maybe he could have squeezed out a win here or a win there. But after that, I mean, I think this may be his last Masters, his last time at Augusta, unfortunately. So I think we need to enjoy this. For all I know, he's not coming back there again. I think, he's probably not going to come close. And I hate to say it, I'm a huge Tiger fan. My dad would never liked golf. He was football, basketball, and baseball. But whenever Tiger was playing, we watched golf. We watched it all. Love Tiger Woods, but I think it's coming to an end. I mean, 15 majors is what he's going to end with. Nicklaus has 18. I think, it's sad that he didn't get the chance to break that record. I think he could have. But overall, I think right now we just got to enjoy having one of the best golfers and being able to watch him. I don't think 75-1. I don't think if it was 1,000-1 that I would bet Tiger Woods. To be honest, I just don't think there's a chance for him to return to that form after this last car crash, last surgery. He doesn't even seem to be walking easily. It's like walking with him is a chore now. And as an athlete, you got to be able to feel good to be able to compete with these guys that are more than a decade younger than him. Unfortunately, no value for Tiger. Love Tiger. I think his career of winning is over, but it's still good to see him out there.
99% of the golf field in a given event does not need to think about walking. Tiger is that 1%, so that adds an element of difficulty. We'll see what happens with Tiger as we go throughout the season. Let's go to Phil Mickelson, because this guy used to be a character, guys. Then he went to live, and now he's like super weird with the media. Like he's stuttering over his words. It's almost like he's ashamed. He went to live golf, and Brandon, we'll go to you on this one too. Phil back at the Masters. Of course, he won at Kiowa Island at the PGA Championship 2 years ago, 250-1 going into that event. Any Phil magic this week?
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? He's got no friends.
Right.
Evidently at the Champions dinner, he kept to himself and really didn't talk to anybody. How uncomfortable that must have been. Freddie Couples. Freddie, first of all, who didn't see a weed gummy he's never liked, never huge stoner, by the way. People don't realize that about Freddie. Freddie called him out, saying, you want to give some guy $200 million to shoot 78s all day, be my guest. I mean, he has gotten hammered, and it's a tough situation for him. And his career and his life and everything about him has gone down the tubes. I've heard unbelievable rumors that the breakup between him and Bones was because Mickelson hit on Bones's wife when they're at the same house in a tournament.
Oh
There are
God.
rumors running. Yeah, there are rumors running rapid about Phil and his character, what he did to Billy Walters. No longer the guy, and I don't know how much longer with the way he's playing golf that we can take Phil Mickelson seriously. Really. And with that being said, could he find magic in a bottle one more time like he did 2 years ago? Who knows? I believe what is he, a 3-time winner here? I believe so.
Yep.
Who knows? But again, it still has to feel uncomfortable that once one of the most likable guys on tour is no longer likable at all.
Clay, as an athlete, when you are going to compete, obviously there's pressure to play well. But when you add in external factors like negative headlines and the fact that you were at the champions dinner and you didn't say a thing, does that stuff weigh on you as well? More pressure?
I think, yeah, but I think these guys, when you're Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, I mean, mentally, I mean, these guys are tough when they're on the tee, when they're putting. I mean, they're locked in, they're focused. They've hit enough shots where that doesn't bother them. Early in my career, that stuff used to get to me, but as you get older, you block all that stuff out. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. I just don't think he has it anymore. I think he had a great career, 45 wins, 6 majors. We won 3 times at the Masters. Great career. Won there in 2021. He came back and, like you said, he caught lightning in a bottle. I don't think 250 to 1 any value. If he was 500 to 1, I still don't think that's any value. I mean, I would put a lot on Phil Mickelson not finishing in the top 20 of this tournament. So I don't think there's value there. I loved Phil. I loved Tiger. I loved their pseudo rivalry they used to have, but I think both these guys are unfortunately over the hill, but I still enjoy watching them. Still love seeing them at the course. But I think right now this is more of a Rory McIlroy chance to win this one. I don't think that Phil and Tiger are still in that argument.
McIlroy, your pick to win this week, Clay. Jordan Spieth for you, Brandon. We'll see what happens with the Masters. Let's pivot to the NFL draft. Talk some props here, guys. Some new props courtesy of Bet Online. We've got a prop for the second overall pick. And Clay, we're going to go to you on this one. Serious favorite is Bryce Young, minus 250. CJ Stroud at number 2. Will Anderson at number 3. Anthony Richardson, 14 to 1 at number 4. Will Levis, 18 to 1 at number 5. What do you think about this play here, Clay?
I think it's Bryce Young. I mean, you can take that to the bank. The Panthers, they've already been caught talking to CJ Stroud about the offense and what they're going to do this season. I think CJ Stroud's a pick. They like big quarterbacks that can throw the ball. This guy had 40 plus touchdowns, 6 interceptions this year. He had an excellent pro day, excellent combine. He's big, he's strong, he can throw. He is going to be the pick. I think you can still find a little bit of value at Bryce Young minus 250. And the Texans are going quarterback. So
right.
CJ Stroud is 1. Bryce Young is 2. You can take that to the bank. If you want some value, there is a shot that Bryce Young goes number 1. And CJ Stroud at plus 230, I think if you want to go for that long shot, you want to get some more value there, it's going to be one of those 2 guys. I would guarantee that it's going to be one of those 2 guys. I personally think it's going to be Bryce Young. But if you want to take that risk, get that extra value, you go with CJ Stroud.
Brandon, I've seen some mock drafts with Anthony Richardson going number 2 overall. 14 to 1 right now. What do you think?
No, too much of a wild card. The name Jamarcus Russell still hangs out there, taking a shot on somebody like that. There's no way Will Levis is going anywhere in the top 10. When Will called me 5 months ago and said, "Hey, B-Lang, what steroids are you on? Because I got to get shredded. I got to get ripped." He wanted to know what kind of testosterone or deck I was on, and I hooked him up with my boy, and he got jacked. And I just got a text from him like 3 hours ago. "Hey, B-Lang, good juice, good stuff, buddy. You got the best juice in the country, and I'm jacked." A lot of guys like me, you got to know the right juice guy who's going to get you buffed and big. I'm looking ripped and 60. Might try to walk on and give me some minutes. But Levitz has fallen out of any mock draft top 10. 179 interceptions last year. No, seriously, I think he had like 23, which is a big red flag for GMs with a guy that can't read defenses and throws picks at the collegiate level. That always transfers to the NFL level as well. So as much a talent as he is, I still think that A lot of people have him going to Seattle so he can sit behind Geno Smith and kind of relax, and Pete Carroll with athletic mobile quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, kind of infatuated there. But I think Clay is right. 1-2 is going to be exactly what we all think it's going to be. And I don't think we deviate for that with Will Anderson going 3. I think that's exactly what the top 3 is going to be.
Frank Reich and Scott Fitterer have been known to be guys that prefer big quarterbacks, right? They love big quarterbacks. Those two guys are the guys making the decision. Scott Fitterer is going for C.J. Stroud. I can guarantee that Bryce Young's going to be number 2.
Lay the wood, minus 250 there with Bryce Young. Just a few minutes, guys, so brevity is key on this one. But fun prop here. Which team will draft Bijan Robinson? The Commanders are the favorites right now. Clay, we'll go to you first. Chargers 5-1, Cowboys 5-1, Eagles plus 750. You got the Falcons, Bengals as well down the board. Thoughts on Bijan, Clay?
I think you go with the team that's got 2 opportunities to draft him, and I think there's a backstop there. The value of running back has been falling for years because you can find so many good running backs in the second half of this draft. You can find them in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th round. You can find guys like Chase Brown, who's great in his zone scheme, 1,600 yards. You can find a lot of guys that can play running back in the end of this draft. So Bijan Robinson is a guy that they say, hey, this guy can put on that gold jacket. He could be a Hall of Fame type. If you see him as that, the Eagles could realistically take him at 10. Miles Sanders is gone. They need a go-to guy. If he does fall, guess what? The Eagles got the 30th pick too. You got 2 chances in the first round here. So it's possible that he falls all the way to 30. The Eagles take him. It's possible the Eagles take him at 10. You got 2 chances. That's why I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles at plus 750 to draft Bijan Robinson. Miles Sanders is gone. They brought in Rashad Penny. He's played in less than half of his games since he's been in the NFL. He has elite yards per carry when he's healthy, but the guy's never healthy. Okay, they have a good chance of drafting this guy and 2 opportunities. That's why I'm going Eagles.
Brandon, that is a very enticing argument. Quickly here, what's the move on your end?
I like Clay's thought process with Philadelphia, Sanders being gone, but Dallas letting Zeke go, and I think paves the way as well. I don't think the Commanders go because of the stable of backs they have in their backfield right now. It's Dallas or Philadelphia, especially with Dallas letting Zeke go, hometown boy. Just makes sense that he goes there. Philly or Dallas, NFC East, lock it in.
That would be fun. I love Clay's move there. I'm going with the Eagles with that backstop in the NFL draft, first round, plus 750. Lock that in. This has been Believe Me right here on Stadium. For Brandon Lang, BrandonLang.com, Clay Harbor, the legendary tight end himself. I am Cam Rogers. We'll talk to you next week.